Hi guys, welcome back to The Social Tune. And today, finally, we take a look at the new album by German heavy metal titans Gravedigger, called Healed by Metal.
We are sent by the devil, we are healed by metal. We rock, healed by metal.
Oh boy. What do I even say about this band? To you heavy metal fans out there, they really need no introduction. They've been active since 1991, and that's just under their current name, with a ton of worldwide success and a bunch of heavy metal classics under their belt, like The Reaper, Tunes of War, and Excalibur. This is their 18th studio album, so at some point you really know what you're going to get going in. I mean, it's heavy metal, not progressive metal. It's barely evolved since the 80s. Even the best acts in this genre, like Iron Maiden and Metallica, have fallen into ruts at some point over the past decade. And personally, Gravedigger has always been a shade weaker than those legends, so I was slightly worried going into this. What I got was exactly what I expected. On the plus side, it is only 37 minutes long, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. But that does not mean that this album doesn't have some definite problems that stops me from liking it as much as some of their past projects. So let's get to easily the best part of this album, the production.
When night falls, I die for you. When night falls, you will die for me. When night falls, we die side by side.
Now to be honest, if you've heard a project from these guys, you know what to expect, and it's honestly pretty solid. The guitars across this album are great, ranging from slow and methodical on songs like the title track and Laughing with the Dead, to fast-paced and frenetic like on Kill Ritual, When Night Falls, and the back half of Hallelujah. And then you have the songs where it alternates on Ten Commandments of Metal. However, one of the drawbacks to this kind of production is that despite there being some real hooks here, a lot of these songs run together and it can be tough to tell them apart. Of course, they make up for that with the multiple guitar solos across this album, like on Kill Ritual, the title track, and especially the ones on Wallbreaker and The Hangman's Eye. And while a lot of these guitars do blend together, the same cannot be said for the lighter guitars on Free Forever, which definitely gave that song a bit more personality. Unfortunately, the drums don't have the same kind of prominence, as a lot of them are forced to the back of the mix and don't do that great a job anyway. Not much else to say here, except that the tempo on some of these tracks is extremely awkward, which you can blame entirely on the lyrics, which I'll get to a bit later. But before we get to that, let's talk about the vocals.
We are called for war. No fear of life and death. We are called for war.
Now let's be fair here, their frontman Chris Boltendahl is 55. And since this band has never really taken a long hiatus, he's never had the chance to really rest his voice. With that in mind though, surprisingly, his vocals here are as strong as they've ever been. Sure, he definitely sticks more in his lower range on this album, but it's the right choice. He's smart about what he does. And even on the songs I don't like that much, he does a solid job. My only criticism is that on certain songs like The Hangman's Eye and When Night Falls, you can definitely tell that English isn't his first language, and his German accent becomes extremely prominent. And the backing vocals do a good job backing him up, as does the multi-tracking, which is also solid across this album. In terms of vocalists, Chris isn't quite on the level of, say, Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, but he's certainly better than you would expect from a lot of bands in this vein, and you can always understand what he's saying, which is definitely a plus. Most of the time. And the reason I say that is because of the lyrics on this album.
He wants to live now or never. His legacy will be free forever.
Okay, here we come to the big one in heavy metal. Nowadays it's very easy to phone one of these in, and no matter how well you play, in order to stick out, you need to have some interesting lyrics. And unfortunately, this album is as bog standard as you can get in that department. As I said, this is Gravedigger's 18th studio album, and considering it's also one of their shortest albums to date, you could definitely make the real argument that the band has run out of ideas. And when I said that this album was exactly what you'd expect, I was not kidding, because this album brings nothing new to the table lyrically. It's centered around devils and Satan and hell and how awesome they are, and God does it not interest me. I'm sure they've made a couple of other albums in this vein, but this one in particular really struck me for the fact that they weren't just recycling material, but that material was getting laughable. Not in how bad it was, but in how unbelievably cheesy it was. Seriously, the opening track, Healed by Metal, is a fitting opener to this album because it's silly as hell and feels rather awkward as a song. But it's definitely not the most awkward song in this album, as that distinction has to go to the closer, Laughing with the Dead, especially when it comes to its tempo. And that's not even counting the laughter on that track, which is kitschy and ridiculous as all hell in the worst possible way. And combined with the fact that the instrumentation here isn't remotely impressive, and considering that it's the longest track here, it's definitely the weakest song on this album. It's pretty bad.
Now it's time to bleed. Satisfaction guaranteed. Dying is no miracle. Kill ritual. Kill ritual.
And on the topic of bad songs, even though it's nowhere near as bad, Hallelujah is just ridiculous and awkward, even if the instrumentation is better. But other than that, none of these other songs are bad, they just feel recycled. In other words, when it comes to the best songs in this album, like When Night Falls, Free Forever, and 10 Commandments of Metal, I can easily point to other songs on previous Gravedigger albums that were better and are basically exactly the same. So yeah, is this a good album? Well, at the end of the day, while it may be their least essential record to date, it's still okay, which is thanks to mostly really good instrumentation and solid vocals. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give it a strong 5 out of 10, as it's definitely not terrible, and I've definitely heard worse in heavy metal. If you're a Gravedigger fan, you'll probably like this, but I doubt it will blow you away like some of their previous releases. And as for the rest of you, if you're in the mood for some heavy metal, then I'd recommend you go back and listen to some of their previous albums, like The Reaper. You'll get a lot more out of them than you do from this. So thank you guys for watching, and if there are any other albums coming out in the next month or so, please post those in the comments so I can listen to them and possibly review them. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there will be a link for that in the description. Please subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is The Social Tunes, signing off.